All right, all right. Good afternoon, everybody. Again, thank you again for being here. For those that you don't know me, my name is Jairo Frausto. Born and raised here in this neighborhood, and couldn't be happier to be here celebrating this day with you. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize some distinguished guests that we have here today. We have present here with us Mayor Vargas. Where you at, Mayor? Thank you for being here. We have several city aldermen here present as well from the council. Alderman Tom Hawley, thank you for being here. Alderman Jim Hansen, Alderman Candace Carr. Am I missing anybody? Wait, raise your hand. All right. I also want to thank Father Ken Carlson here for being present here with us too. Thank you. And also we have here present here with us Reverend Peter Contreras. So today we're here gathered celebrating this historic event here in our wonderful town. And today we paint the new picture here in town. As you probably heard throughout the duration of this project, back in 1974, when this was originally painted, there was a little bit of a difference of opinion, and some people didn't want to see that mural painted at that time. And you can see it to the right of me, to your left, the original one that was painted in '74. At that time, we had a city council that wasn't in favor of it, and it's a tremendous 180 difference today that we have the full support of our city council on this project. So I really want to thank all of our city council members and the mayor and the administration for their support on this project and making this happen. I also wanted to, before we keep going with this program, I really wanted to take a moment to also talk about the amazing thing that happened here with the community. Businesses got together and helped make this possible in the community with our volunteers, our core group that was organizing this. It was really an incredible thing, and it shows what kind of community we have here today. And the unity that we have. So I really want to thank all the businesses that helped out and make this a reality. We have Carlos and the group at Aztec Inc. We also had the Blue Island Arts Alliance with Jason as president. Blue Island Beer Co. Brian and Alan at the Blue Island Brewery. Chicago Public Art Group, Steve Weaver and John Weber. Esparza's Restaurant, Silvia and Antonio. Giuseppe's Pizza, Frank and Nelly. Illinois Fire Restoration, Paco. Jevons Hardware, Judy and Art. Danny Castillo and Jose Lagunas from JLDC Construction. Corbeca's Liquor, Steve and Jim. La Dulce Bakery, Johnny and Anna. One of my best friends growing up here and grew up in this neighborhood too. And after we're done, we're gonna have some nice cake here that he provided that I hope you enjoy. Maple Tree Inn, Katie and Eric, Mario's Tacos. Mario, can't thank you enough for your support with this. The National Museum of Mexican Art, Carlos Tortolero. Rock Island Public House, Dave and Jen Brown, and Truco Salon Unisex, Elsa Rodriguez. They all effortlessly pitched in on this project and jumped on board the moment I had asked them, and I can't thank them enough. It's an incredible thing that happened, and I can't thank them, the businesses, the community, the volunteers, all the supporters. Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and as I go through this, I wanted to talk about the mural. Obviously, the original goal here was to bring it back exactly how it was. And if you look at it, you're going to say, no, it's not exactly how it was. And, art changes, times change. people are in different places in their lives, and to be able to have our lead artist here, Ray Patlan, come back and lead this project and express his experience and how he grew as an artist. He put that into play along with the assisting artists that helped out with this project, which is Ricardo Gonzalez, Erika Valencia, and Robert Valadez, and including numerous amounts of support from other artists that came in and helped out and wanted to lay their brush on there and contribute to this project. And so you can see behind me, you know, the nuts and bolts of what was painted in '74 is here, and there's been some additions, some modifications, and some enhancements, you know, for the artists to express their talent. And one of the things that one of the first person that I wanted to bring up here to talk, I don't know if he's here. I haven't seen you. Juan, you here? Juan? Where's it? No, he's not here? Well, if he's here, I'll give him a moment to talk. But one of the images here behind me, the machine worker, the image was placed of Juan, and I'll let the artist talk more about that, but that was a relation that was built with him and the artist, Ray Patlan, and he just talked to him about what a lot of us feel and what this mural means to us, what it meant to us growing up and seeing this here and part of our culture and part of our history here in Blue Island. But I'll leave that to our lead artist to talk more about that. The other person I wanted to talk about here, addition-wise, is Mrs. Phyllis Cabrera. She couldn't be here today. From what I hear, she's doing okay, but she was in the hospital, but she's doing okay and should be released tomorrow. But if you can see behind me, we have an image of Phyllis Cabrera, and wanted to talk a little bit about her, and again, I'll let the artist talk about, you know, how it came about and so on. But Phyllis Cabrera was born in Monterrey, Mexico. Her father had a job opportunity in the U.S. and the family traveled by train in Blue Island. They settled in Riverdale, where her father worked for the Indiana Harbor Railroad. The railroad provided a boxcar for living quarters, and her family had a great garden and chickens. About 10 years later, they moved to a home on Emerald Street east of Halsted. Phyllis said, upon entering Thornton High School, it opened up a whole new world for me. She met students who were actively participating in school studies, sports, and many programs. It inspired her to get an education. She moved to Blue Island in her sophomore year. She graduated during World War II and promptly got a job in Harvey producing cardboard containers that would hold the shells that were used for tanks. She worked there till she married. She had a total of 6 children. They attended St. Benedict's Church. At the time, there was no place for Mexican young adults to go to, so a group of young adults formed and organized to meet that need. She and her husband would have the young adults meet at their home or occasionally at the Masonic Temple to have parties and nice time amongst themselves. Later on, she heard of an opportunity to work at St. Francis. There she worked in the cafeteria while her children were at school. At this time, she kept hearing rumors about Mexican children having problems understanding the teachers at school in the community. So a group of people with August Salas as president formed the Latin American Advisory Council in the early 1970s, of which she was the secretary for a time. They formed to be the go-between for the Mexican community and the schools, city, and police. They teamed up with professors at Moraine Community College and others for guidance and to bring people to teach about such topics and parenting and child development. The Blue Island Mural was also another project they supported, as one of the young men, Jose Nadio, helped to promote and paint the mural. The LAAC saw a need for a bilingual program in the schools. At this time, a young teacher, Juan Sarli, and also Reverend Peter Contreras would try to encourage Phyllis to try for a bilingual professional aid or run the school board, or for school board, I'm sorry. In 1989, she retired from St. Francis after working there 20 years. She was asked again to consider working for School District 130, so she went to a school board meeting upon Roberto Sarli's invitation. She then decided to apply and work for the School District 130 for the next 21 years. Phyllis is a Gold Star mother who lost her son, Luis Xavier Cabrera, PFC 1st Marine Division in Vietnam in 1966. One of the events dear to Phyllis Cabrera is the Memorial Day observance at Lincoln School. It was started by the Latin Advisory Council with a hope to recognize Mexican Americans who lost their lives in service for this country. They were given a base and a flagpole at Lincoln School for the display of a plaque with names of young Mexican men from Blue Island who lost their life. One is her son. She has remained active with this event for over 40 years. So, thank you to Phyllis for her contribution to Blue Island here and the sacrifice she's made as a Gold Star mother for this country. Again, she couldn't be here, but I know she's happy about being on this wall today. Another individual on this mural I think many are well familiar with is Reverend Peter Contreras. And we got him up in the mural here to my left. And before I ask you to come up to speak, I want to just say a couple of accomplishments he's had here and made here in this town. Sorry, I'm reading off my phone. I'm trying to be green here and not print papers, just reading off my phone. Peter V. Contreras has not only pastored at Bethel Pentecostal Church in Broadway, just down the block from here, for over 50 years, but he has impacted the city of Blue Island, Illinois. He is on the School District 218 Eisenhower High School Hall of Fame as a distinguished alumnus. He also served School District 130 for over 14 years and is board president for 2 years. He played a key role in bringing the bilingual program into the School District 130 in the 1970s and served in the Illinois State Evaluation Team program. He also taught an after-school ESL Spanish-speaking program for children at two of the schools to help struggling children adapt to the English language. So that's one item that's actually near and dear to me. First generation here, and being raised in a Spanish-speaking home, that was crucial for my development here, going through District 130. So I know I thanked you before for your service and for your work on that, Reverend, but thank you again. Also, Dr. Peter V. Contreras served 12 years on the board of St. Francis Hospital in Blue Island, and in an effort to help promote the need for Hispanics that the hospital serviced and hired. He helped start, along with a core group of men, the Blue Island Development Corporation in the 1980s, the first produced newsletter and then later a newspaper that still exists. It was started with the purpose to promote racial and ethnic harmony and the positive aspects of the city, and to quell the fears of the community as it became ethnically diverse. He pushed for the start of the Blue Island Ministerial Association in Blue Island, the purpose of all the churches working together to better serve the community. He was also instrumental in, along with Jack King, in opening the Guild House, a halfway house located in Blue Island for men recovering from disease of chemical dependency. He wrote as a chaplain for Blue Island Police Department during the 1980s and still helps the police department when called upon with community needs. He started a community Kid Day event with the idea that the police and the youth of the community could meet on friendly terms and better understand each other. And that's over 20 years, and that's still happening today. He opened the doors of the church he pastored to allow neighboring meetings to deal with such issues and gangs, crime, and adjacent to oil refineries, community impact, and many other community improvement needs. He continues to assist the Latin Advisory Committee and started a Memorial Day service over 40 years ago to honor and educate the community of the contributions and accomplishments that Mexican Americans have given and sacrificed to this great country of ours. Reverend, would you like to share some words up here?
I want to thank, I don't know who gave him that picture. Had I known I was going to be on that wall, I would have given him my high school picture. You know, I was born and raised in Blue Island. In fact, all our family was. The only one that wasn't born in Blue Island was my oldest sister, who was born in Galesburg. And my dad crossed the border in 1905, worked his way up here through the railroad. Settled here in Blue Island, worked for the Rock Island, his last job was a coal chute operator. That's when they used this coal and steam. And those folks work hard, you know, all of our people. I thank God for Blue Island, which is very diverse. You know. Of course, back in the day, during the war and after the war, we had some struggles, you know, minorities always do. And I said one day we're not going to be minorities anymore, so we're kind of up there. But the main thing is, I don't care about your, you know, if you're Mexican or African American or whatever, it's just to be a good American. And I always saw the need for helping people. You know, I thank God for my church that I pastor, that they've always been open for me to do whatever I had to do to help our community. And we're all about people. We're God's people, each and every one of us. And through the years, as Ira mentioned, I've done a lot of things, and I never done it to be put on a wall. I done it because there was a need, and there's still needs today. And I'd just like to encourage our young people that hear us today to be involved in a positive way. You know, be involved. You know, and I thank God that many years ago when we started the Community Kid Day, I saw a need where we as a community could work with the police. You know, there was a lot of stuff about profiling and all that kind of stuff, and somebody said, let's march. I said, let's not march, let's work. Let's work together with our officials. And I'm glad that I've been able to work with different chiefs of police. I remember Mr. Koyenga, different guys, and when there was gang problems out, he'd stop by and said, Reverend, can you walk with me on the streets and talk to the people, which I did. And anyway, I'm so thankful. I thank God that I live in Blue Island. I know my youngest daughter, who I won't mention her name, but she's not here, but she's my baby. She says, Dad, why don't you sell and move on? I said, where am I going to go? At my age, you know, I said, my house is paid for, my car's paid for. I have good people here. The Bethel Church, the people, they don't mind an old man who can't get around all that good anymore. But anyway, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. And what a privilege. I never expected this. But I just want you to say, I thank God that I'm a part of this town, and any way that I can serve in whatever way I can, with the help of the Lord, I will do it. And Jairo, thank you, and thank you, folks. And that's me at the corner. I tell people I'm like the postage stamp, right in the corner. So when you think of Pastor Pete, think of the postage stamp. And also, Tom's pointing out Libby McNeil. My mom worked at Libby. She went to work at Libby during the war, and her story was she was going to work for a little bit, but she worked till she retired in 1965. So anyway, all of us are here. Either we or our parents or grandparents, we had some contribution to this town. And again, I'm here, and probably when the Lord takes me home, they're going to put me over at Beverly. I already bought my plot, so I suppose I'm here to say, God bless you. Thank you, Jairo.
you, Reverend.
Pardon me.
Is Rick here yet? I know Rick had a prior engagement. Rick Gonzalez, you here? Is he? Okay. All right. I'm going to hold on before I let the artists come up here. The next person I want to invite up here, before we get the people who created this wonderful mural here, I want to invite Mayor Vargas to come up here and speak some words. As I mentioned, there's been some changes here in the mural, and a couple of weeks ago, we passed a resolution in support of what happened, what was painted originally, and obviously the City Council is in support of this redoing of this project. And it ended up being a pretty emotional resolution, and that being is because of the rail carts that you see here painted. You know, when families first started settling in here, they were living in boxcars and working on the railroad. And one image that you'll see inside the boxcar right over there is Mr. Antonio Castro, resident who was one of the first settlers here in Blue Island and of Hispanic descent, and lived a couple blocks down here in California. And actually went to school with his grandchildren, Kathy. And we decided to put him up here because he also came to this town and first lived in boxcars while they were coming here to work and live a better life. But with that being said, Mayor?
Thank you, Alderman. Good afternoon to all. Again, this afternoon's another historic day, historic afternoon in the city of Blue Island. As was mentioned before, this is a community mural, but it's also a personal mural, and I'm going to explain why. As we start from my right, you see some people planting or harvesting. Approximately 103 years ago, my great-grandmother left the middle part of Mexico, Irapuato, Guanajuato, and during that period of time they lived on a plantation, as we say in Spanish, una hacienda. And the plantation was known as Buenavista, close to Irapuato, Guanajuato. From there, they left and they trekked north. Again, during that period of time, the Mexican Revolution was starting or beginning to start. My great-grandmother, along with her children, decided Mexico at that time was not the best place to raise a family. They needed work to support the family. If you Google Irapuato, Guanajuato to Blue Island, it's approximately 2,000 miles. But unfortunately for my great-grandmother, she never made it to Blue Island. They crossed the Mexican-US border around Roma, Texas, and she continued for approximately another 500 miles until they got to Irving, Texas. Coincidentally, here's where it gets a little emotional. My mother's mother, Josefina, my mother and myself were born and raised on Irving Avenue in Blue Island. Is that a coincidence or is it fate? Let's go back to great-grandma. So she made it to Irving, Texas, which is approximately 500, almost 600 miles from the Mexican-US border, which is present-day Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas. She died there. And to this day, the family does not know where she was buried. The only thing we know, she was buried along the highway. So my grandmother, along with her siblings, continued to trek north. No language, no money, no car, with her horse, your own 2 feet. But they made it. They knew they had to make it to this area. As is mentioned, it was what's behind me. Work. And the steel mills were primarily the railroad. And that's where we go talking about the 2 railroad cars that you see behind me. As I talk to the youth in Blue Island, I tell them, you know what? we have it good. Because either we had a roof over our head, or there was an apartment, a house, a mobile home. Back then, when my great-grandmother arrived when she was 14, she and her family, as well as other Hispanic families, Mexican families, lived in boxcars. And unfortunately, this was reality back then. Because of work, or for whatever political or religious reasons, that's the only place you could have lived in back then. So they lived many, many years in those boxcars at 123rd off of Vincennes. There was a potato factory there was the brickyard, etc. And then the Depression hit. So that was another blow for the family. Instead of improving, they were stuck. They were stuck living in those boxcars for many years, until they were able to save enough money to get out and buy a home on Irving Street, where my mother was born. In the meantime, my mother's mother, my grandmother Josefina, and they talked about Libby's plant. That's another thing that touches me. Libby McNeil, Libby's packaging plant. My grandmother worked there, as long as other Mexican women from the community, and as other nationalities, women and men worked there. For the tomatoes, the pickles, etc. And they worked there during the war and after the war to raise their families. What's so touching about all of this, it's a progression. From a plantation to living in the Blue Island area in boxcars, to working in a packaging plant in Libby's down the street, which all of you are familiar with, to the present day. I want to recognize Alderman Dennis Rango as being the first alderman in the city of Blue Island, and I was the second Mexican or Hispanic alderman elected in the city of Blue Island. Then we had Alderman Pedro Vasquez, Alderman Leticia Vieira, Alderman Jairo Fausto. And again, it's not the end, it's to continue. And I was blessed to serve this community for approximately 22 years as alderman for the 7th Ward. And again, I was blessed and honored to be standing among you as the first Mexican-American mayor from the city of Blue Island. As I try to state to everyone who comes and visits us at City Hall is yours. What I carry in my pocket, and I took it off my belt, is the mayor's badge. This mayor's badge is a symbol of all of you, of the authority that you have entrusted upon me to make sure that everything's done correctly in the city of Blue Island for future generations. As I keep telling the youth who come and visit us, we're only here temporarily. We got to give back. This mural, this community mural, shows that, a progression. Look at it. All the way to the end. On a personal note, as a first, a lot of our parents didn't have a chance to go and get a higher education. I was fortunate that I was able to. Not only from St. Benedict's to Quigley South to Loyola University, and another first for me, as well as probably a lot of you, was to study abroad, across the pond, as they say. And I studied law in England, at Notre Dame. Came back, and here amongst you again, giving back. And that's what you want to instill in your future generations when they see this mural. Todo se puede. Everything's possible. Education is something nobody can take away from you. Hard work, family, that's behind me. That is what you're looking at. Or am I wrong? And something that I stress tremendously And as I see our veterans out there, my heart goes out to you, my honor goes out to you, and you know that. If it wasn't for them, both men and women, we wouldn't be here. As you see the young lady behind me, as a sample, an example of their service to their country. As you see behind me also, they started with their loyalty to Mexico, going into the US, continuing for the future. And that's where we are today. And again, as the first Mexican-American mayor of the city of Blue Island, what an honor it is to be amongst all of you this beautiful day in October in beautiful Blue Island. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, next I'd like to invite up here the group that made this happen, that expressed their talent. And before they come up here, I just wanted to, again, explain the wonderful thing that happened with the community supporting this mural, with individuals paying for this man's flight to come out here, offering their stay to be out here. It's just incredible the amount of resources that came together to help make this happen. So without further ado, I want to come up here and introduce Mr. Ray Patlan. Where are you, Ray? Erika Valencia, come on up here. Robert Valadez, come up here. I don't think Rick's here yet, but these are the people that made this happen. So I'll give the mic to you, Ray.
I don't have a whole lot to say except that it's a privilege to come back to Blue Island after such a tumultuous first project in 1974. I was shocked when I got the call from Jairo to an invitation rather to come and redo the mural that was forbidden in 1974. So we brought together the resources with the help of the city of Blue Island, Jairo Rausto, and the mayor, and the people who work with them. We have local artists working on it, including an artist from Chicago, very well-known artist from Chicago. We wanted to create a mural that was going to represent Blue Island of the past, but also Blue Island today. And so we created this mural in respect for the people who worked on it previously, including Vicente, Francisco Mendoza, Jose Nadio, and all those who participated in the very first project. We made a lot of changes, as you can see. The first mural is represented there on the side in that small plaque with the names of people who contributed to this mural. And the changes, as you can see, were many on this mural. We made changes by talking to people. The mural was started, for those of you who weren't here, by a group of local people who gathered here one evening in August. And we projected the drawing up on the wall, and families participated in drawing it. So it created an ownership for the local community here. It's your mural. You own it. I think that all the artists who worked on it feel that this is their mural, their Blue Island mural. And we're hoping you feel the same way. We want to be sure that you are, in fact, happy with the mural and that you will enjoy it for years to come and make it an important part of the history of this community, because we think it is. Thank you.
I just wanted to thank everyone for being here. I see a lot of familiar faces. Thank you so much. Actually, none of my family could be here today, but thank you guys. It means a lot. I just want to say I'm very proud to have been able to be such. I'm proud. I am proud to have been able to be a part of such an important part of Blue Island history. It means a lot. And I actually don't remember the original mural. I was a little too young. But knowing the history now and knowing what it means, it just means a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work on this. Robert, some words you want to talk about? Your elements that got incorporated here with the timing of this mural when it was being painted?
Yeah.
If you guys noticed to the left of me, the paletero down in the corner, I'm sure everybody's caught wind of that story and what happened with the paletero, but I'll let you get it.
Okay, thank you. Not much of a public speaker, so I'll keep it brief. But I did a mural just earlier in the year. Well, I actually wrapped it up on 26th and Pulaski, Second Federal Savings Bank, and right next to the bank was a palateria, where this man, Don Fidencio, he would pass by every day pushing his cart, and we would see him. And so we thought maybe we would include him in the mural, because he was obviously part of the community. And he came across as such an impactful figure. And then somewhere along the line, somebody started a GoFundMe page to raise money for this man, because he was an older guy and he's almost 90 and pushing a paleta cart. And it struck a chord with people. People saw this man and they took it to heart, and they started donating money for this man, for his living expenses. And the original goal was like $3,000 or something. And they ended up making, what was it, like 400,000 or something incredible like that. Anyway, so we put him in the mural, and then there was just this big reaction about that, and so we decided, well, we might as well put him in here, because we had finished that mural, and we put him over here in this mural. So, and then the other change was the boxcar theme, which I don't. Whose original idea was that?
It came about from the resolution that we passed in the family within the boxcar.
Yeah, because about 15 years ago, I did a mural in Sterling, Illinois, which is about 100 miles straight west out of Chicago, almost by Iowa border, and a big Mexican community there, Steeltown. And we did the boxcar theme there because a lot of the Mexicans, just like here, weren't able to buy the house or live in regular houses, and they lived in the boxcars. And we did the boxcar theme there. And so it just seemed like a logical choice to put the boxcars here also, as a symbol of the conditions that the Mexicanos lived under in the early part of the 20th century. And so we include that also. And also I want you to notice there's a little wash tub there. Because when I did the mural in Sterling, Illinois, everybody said, well, you got to put a wash tub in there. Because everybody always had one of those wash tubs. And weren't you saying that there's a picture of you in a wash tub? You're 3 years old, or
2 years old.
2 years old.
I had my birthday suit on.
Yeah, you had your birthday suit on. But the thing is that because you didn't have conventional plumbing, so you do everything in the wash tub. You would wash your clothes, you'd wash your dishes, you'd wash your kid, and then in the evening you'd fill it up with ice and beer, and with this all-purpose thing, So I thought it was a nice symbol, and we included it in the mural also. But that was based on the mural that I did back in Sterling. And people said, you gotta watch it. So there's that. And then also, the mural that I did at Second Federal Bank, that's the other mural, we did the butterfly theme also, which I thought was also important. The monarcas, the mariposas, they come from a forest in Michoacan, where they spawn, and then they take a journey. It takes 3 generations for them to make the journey from Michoacan to the United States, as far north as Canada. And they're sort of the symbol. They symbolize the immigrant, because they're free to fly across the border. They have complete liberty to fly across the border. There's no restrictions, you know. So they're a metaphor for the immigrant, and that was the other element that we discussed about, including in this mural. It wasn't in the original mural, and so there you have it. That's about it. And Ray's dog is down there too. So another addition, Carmelita. She'll be speaking later. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. All right, we're gonna, before we have Father Ken Carlson come up here and give an official blessing of this new mural in this town and this community here. I just wanted to close with again thanking everybody that was involved with this project, going from the core group of La Causa, Jason Berry, Miguel Salgado, and Mark Podasca and myself, as well as I wanted to thank for Laura de los Santos for her contribution to this project. I told myself that I wouldn't get a little emotional up here, but the one personal thing I wanted to share with you guys here today is I remember when this mural was getting painted over in the mid-90s, and I remember pulling up on the school bus and I got off with this confused face. What are you doing? You know, I didn't know much about art, but I knew that I appreciated that, and it meant something to me. And to see that being covered up I was just confused and unhappy about it, as many people were at that time. But the most gratifying thing about all this work that has been put in, those of you who know me know I put in 2 cents into this project. Today I have that image of I see myself getting off the school bus, just giving myself a thumbs up about what happened here. So I'm very happy about this project and what it brings to this community, and I hope you guys really get to enjoy it for many, many, many more years to come. So again, I really wanted to thank everybody. We made it. It's here. I know some people have talked about this for a long time. Some people even tried making this happen, and for one reason or another, this struck out and couldn't happen. And I stepped up to the plate, and the community got together, and I think we hit a home run here. If anybody thinks any different, let me know. But I think this project is a home run, and I really want to thank everybody that was involved. There's a lot of names to name, but you know who you are, and thank you so much. And it's time to enjoy some cake and some refreshments that we have here for you guys. But just before we do, I wanted to invite Father Ken Carlson. He wanted to come up here, and I actually want to invite the whole community. If you want to come up here, put your hand on the wall. This is a community mural. It means a lot more to everybody. It has obviously a lot more elements in here that tie it even more to our town here. So with that being said, if you want to share a couple of words, and we'll go on a nice prayer. Like I said, if you guys want to come up here and get off your chairs, you're more than welcome to.
Full participatory prayer for the wall and for our city. I'm kind of a newbie here in Blue Island compared to a lot of you who were born and raised in the city. I've been here for nearly 3 years, and it's a true blessing and an honor for me to be part of the Blue Island community. I've experienced people from all different cultures and generations who have grew up here and taken part in this community and really made it a special place. And that is what this city is. It's a special place. I think we look to our past when we look at this mural and we honor our past. We look at our present as to who we are, and we celebrate our cultural diversity. And we look to our future and the strength that we as Blue Islanders can provide to each other in this mural. This mural not only represents what the past was, but who we are and who we will be in the future. So future generations will see this mural and be proud and know, Jairo, that you did a good job along with all of those who worked hard with you to make this a reality. So as we pray for Blue Island and this mural, to bless this mural and to dedicate it, let us remember all those who have gone before us from Blue Island and given their all to make this place what it is today. So as we pray together, we lift our hands in prayer and say, Lord God, we ask that you bless this mural, that it be a sign of our past, that it be a sign of our present, that it be a sign of our future. Help it to always inspire us to be great in all that we do. Through the beauty of the mural and the different parts of the representation of who we are as a people, allow it, Lord, to fill us with the sense of awe and inspiration. Let us always go forth to bless each other in this community. Bless all of those who protect our community, our police officers, all of our firefighters and paramedics, those who govern us in this community. Lord, fill them with wisdom so that they can govern us in justice. Allow the people of Blue Island to be filled with your presence and your love, and always let us be inspired to be those who give that true inspiration to others to be like this city of Blue Island. Lord, bless this mural in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father.
Before we get to the cake, Rick, come on up here. I know you flew up here, you just got here. This is one of our other main artists. You want to give a couple of words? Hey, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, sorry about that. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you, Blue Island, Illinois. Thank you, La Causa. Thank you, Blue Island Art Alliance. Thank you, Ray Batlan. Thank you, Laura de los Santos, for the research for 1974. And thank you very much to our volunteers and all the workers that came out, whether it was 1 day or 30 days. Thank you, Elvira Esparza. Thank you, Enrique Reyes. Thank you, Abdi Maya. Thank you, Beto Castillo. Thank you, Laura Vergara. Thank you, Erica, Ray, Robert. Thank you, Jairo. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Blue Island, and everyone out here, taking a look at this mural. And we're very proud to have worked on this mural. Really, a lot of work, a lot of labor, and it's really exciting to see something like this happening in Blue Island. And we look forward to hopefully seeing more artwork, more public art happening in our neighborhood. So this is really great to have people come behind us, unite with us, along us, and making a project like this coming together. I can't remember everyone who participated in this project, but thank you Esparza's Restaurant, thank you Mario's Tacos, Rock Island Public House, Blue Island Brewing Company, Giuseppe's Pizza, and so many others that I'm going to forget, but thank you all if I haven't mentioned your name.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much. And you flew over here to be in here so you can one of our main artists here and legacy holder. So again, thank you guys so much. And please, we got a table over here with some cake and refreshments. Please enjoy. We don't have any actual food out here. I think that would be an injustice to the restaurants that were here and open running. So celebrate, talk about this art, and if you're hungry, you can pop into Esparza's, Mario's. We got a Rock Island Public House over here. Enjoy and have a good time. Thank you, everybody.